Hi, welcome to Andrew Buckle book review of Ward, Lock & Co.'s London and the Franco British Exhibition 1908. This includes the Olympics of 1908, which was obviously London, etc., and illustrated guidebooks. And I love guidebooks. Actually, I love books about London in general, but this is fallen to pieces, of course. But however, it's got great adverts as well. So you've got a bank advert there, and obviously some of them that are still around. National Providence, I think it is. Delightful steamer trips. And you got here through 90 miles of Thames scenery. Wow. Oh, Wallingford and Oxford. Lovely places. And you got here, obviously, a guide to London and all the various details there. You've got over 100 illustrations as well. And that's the thing I love about these things. Quite often when you see the illustrations. Visitors to London. Tranter's Hotel. Now, I have no idea if that's still there. Probably not, I'm not certain. But however, the Bedford Imperial. Oh, Bedford Imperial, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely there because that's where I go for my comic conventions and also before book fairs and things. Now you've got hotels and tariffs. You've got all the various hotels and tariffs. Sharman's Temperance Hotel. You've got load, just brilliant. Just got so, and this is the thing about all these books. You just go through and you think, wow. And it's got a description, of course, given a little bit of the Devonshire House Hotel, Haxell's Hotel. Also, of course, a nice map of there so you can find it as well. So that's along wherever it is, the Strand, apparently. So you've got restaurants, you've got all the various details of restaurants, omnibus services, which is good, not Marvel comic omnibuses, but omnibuses. So you've got the omnibus route, which is great. And so apparently, Hornsey in West Kensington, it tells you Greyhound Road, obviously all these streets I'm certain are still there. And you've got maps as well, which are always, and I'm not just going to, you can see a map there. That's probably obviously of the exhibition. So there it is. Franco British Exhibition 1908. It's got all the details about how to get there, all the various exhibition halls as well. So you've got all those. And it's just fascinating reading all. You've got here the Franco British Pavilion, the Grand Restaurant, the Garden Club, the Imperial Pavilion, the Giant Flip Flap, whatever the job. Anyway, two enormous steel arms, each 150 feet in length, etc., etc. Yeah. So, and the Olympic Games as well. The athletic portion of the Games will occupy 2 weeks, commencing from July 13th. So you've got all the details there. Athletics, lacrosse, lawn tennis, motorboats, polo, rowing, shooting, skating, swimming, tennis, wrestling, yacht, and so on and so on. Loads more detail. Oh, and some more lovely, another map of London there. You've got Trafalgar Square. Now that's obviously changed considerably there. You've got a nice picture of Trafalgar Square. Certain that's altered. The Tate Gallery. And you've got painting there. Churches. Oh, another one there. St Martin's. Wow, that looks great. God, that looks very different. So you've got here, obviously, Trafalgar Square there. Somewhat slightly different. Actually, amazingly different. Though obviously it resembles it, of course. But you've got places of interest as well. You've got obviously all the museums. Many of these, of course, still exist. You've got National Gallery and various others. Some probably don't. National Portrait, Needlework Royal School of Art. Wow. So Railways of London. You've got another, obviously, map here. Oh, let's have a quick look what this one shows. Oh, it's fallen to pieces. But you've got all the old sort of, obviously, tube lines. Now, obviously, the map is slightly different now. And this one, obviously, is ripped. But you've got, I love all those old tube maps. Because the thing is about the old tube map, as you can see, of course, where all the thing relation to the street. Whereas the abstract design that you, of course, get now is that it doesn't bear any relationship really to the streets. So you can look at it and think, well, that distance there is not really that. However, interchange stations, you've got other maps, lots and lots of maps. Certainly will not get lost with this book with more maps, even more sort of giving more street names. Whitehall, of course, National Portrait Gallery. You've got here, admission. The days and hours are exactly the same as for the National Gallery. Catalogue, 6 old pennies, apparently. Nearest station, Trafalgar Square. That, of course, doesn't exist anymore. There's no Trafalgar Square station. No, I'm certain there isn't. Last time I checked. And, of course, you've got the Clock Tower, Houses of Parliament. I wonder what happened to the Clock Tower of Houses of Parliament. I think it's called slightly something different now, but anyway. But that's Central Tower, Victoria Tower. You've got loads of detail about various things. The Roman Catholic Cathedral, Westminster, St James. It's just fascinating when you read through these books. It's not one of these sort of books I would sort of sit there and read from start to finish, but it's one of those books you sort of dip into, and it mentions loads and loads of places. You think, wow, is that place still there, or has that sort of changed? Of course, you've got the Arab Hall. It's the most beautiful structure which has been erected 16th century, apparently. The tiles were collected by Lord Leighton. Of course, you've got Leighton House and all those sort of things. I love Leighton House. Leighton House is amazing. Royal Albert Hall, of course, there. Wallace Collection, absolutely brilliant. Wallace Collection, definitely worth checking out. The Wallace Collection, just a bit behind Selfridges. That sort of just walk up the streets and you can find it. It's just the best place. Just love going there. Bloomsbury, wow. Now that's changed a bit. You got Bloomsbury, obviously, and the British Museum. Now that really does look quite different, that British Museum. This is what I love about the old photos. You can just see those brilliant old photos. They've really changed that area. I never suspected that. Victoria and Albert, of course, some of the places look, you think, oh, that looks fairly similar. Kingsway and Aldwych, Law Courts, probably a lot of that is very similar now. Other than, of course, I don't think there's many of those probably going through the street at this very moment. Quite busy as well there. The Bank of England, of course, that's probably changed. Oh no, see that? You've got the Bank of England there. Some of these places look fairly similar. Aldgate, got the Tower of London. I think that probably remains sort of. I don't think there's any different. Well, there's probably some variation now. Certain things have been cleaned up and changed and modified, etc. 2-hour readers, and I love this. Look at this. It's got a little piece of paper there. 2-hour readers as well, which is nice. So you got any omissions, obviously, or things. Obviously, Kew Gardens, you've got the map, index, and then my favourite thing, which is always, well, the information's great, but you've got all these lovely adverts. Stones Cream. You've got Caledonian Railways, the cheapest railway tickets in the world. This one's Belgium State Railway. Wow. Continent and Dover and Ostend. Got that. And so that's probably more summer tours in Scotland. So you've got summer tours in Scotland. The Crescent Hotel in Buxton. The Harrogate Grand Hotel. And I assume many of these places, you've got more hotels there. And you've got some other, you've got other adverts about Cocoa. Copyright novels. Oh, wow, I love this list. Now, I love these old lists of, you've got all these done. The novels. Now, I don't know any of these of, just looking quickly through the list. The Mysterious Mr. Sabin, The Trifler, A Race with Ruin, The Kidnapped President, Sarah Tolden. Even the authors, I have Guy Boothby, Hawley Smart, Henry Kingsley, Anthony Hope. No, I must admit, sadly, many of these, obviously, 6 pennies copyright novels, unusual name to say. Right, so that's it. And you've got all the car on the back. Look at that, lovely Autocars. Autocars, that is just great. Famous reliability. Wolsey Tool and Motorcar. What a lovely old advert. This is the thing I love about these books. It's falling to pieces, but so what? It's just a joy to flick through and read. I'd say not something I'd probably read it all the way through, but it's certainly something you just pick up and you think, let's just read about a certain area and find out things that you think, that's changed a bit. So that's the London and Franco British Exhibition 1908. So lovely tour guide of my favourite city, along with quite a few other ones. But I love London, so it's London is just great and it's just fascinating. So I won't say totally recommended because I can't really say that for this, but it is a fascinating book all the same. It's just great.